This is a product video for Avery Dennison VISIFLEX V8000 series prismatic reflective vinyl. Avery Dennison VISIFLEX V8000 is engineered with safety in mind while providing striking and bold reflectivity that is primarily suited for emergency and safety vehicles. And in this video, you will see it applied to the back of this vehicle, which will include all the production and install tips and tricks. It comes in 7 colors. 2 are fluorescent, and the white is printable. On the box is important product information, including roll width, which is 48 inches wide, and the lot number, which can also be found inside the core tube. The VISIFLEX V8000 is between 533 and 600 microns thick, depending on the color, and it has a permanent pressure-sensitive adhesive. The initial tack is medium to high, and keep in mind that it can be picked off the surface, readjusted, and it won't negatively affect the reflective layers. To adhere the film, use firm pressure and overlapping squeegee strokes. It can be applied to flat and moderate curved surfaces. There is a limit in how far it can be stretched, and it can often be seen in wrinkles, which, due to the properties of film, cannot be heated and stretched flat in order to take them further. For long-term durability and hold, the VISIFLEX V8000 should never be cut or wrapped to or around an edge. Instead, it needs to be trimmed back roughly 1/4 of an inch or 5 to 10 millimeters. The film should never be trimmed back using a knife. There is too high of a risk of cutting the substrate underneath, so you'll see 2 ways to do it safely and precisely. The first is to create a template by hand. Here, using transparent pre-masking tape, the edges are marked with a pen at the correct distance from the edge. The pre-mask is carefully lifted off the surface and then brought to a production table where it's placed over a piece of V8000. High-quality scissors are a good way to safely and professionally trim the excess off, and be sure to round the corners to ensure durability. For small applications, this handmade template system is practical, but for larger coverage applications, using a high-quality plotter is the best option. Remove the VISIFLEX V8000 from the rack and be sure not to let the edge touch the ground. Then load it into the plotter. It is very important to use a 60-degree blade, as this will cut through the reflective layer cleanly and precisely. The next step is to ensure that the blade depth is correct. On this first initial test, the blade depth is too deep, as it cuts through the liner and the reflective film. After several adjustments, another test is made, and this time the VISIFLEX V8000 cuts cleanly and the liner is pristine. This means it's time to start the plotting process. Load the file in and begin the cutting process. Once the program has finished, now it's time for weeding. Be sure to slowly remove the excess film and hold it away from the surface so the high initial tack of the adhesive doesn't lift off a letter or number. And for in between the letters and numbers, use a weeding tool or simply fold the liner slightly to remove the excess film. And for the last production tip, always store the roll vertically and not lay it flat on a table. This will ensure that there are no adhesive impressions on the film. Now move on to the install and make sure the workspace temperature is between 60 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Clean the vehicle first with soap and water, then degrease the surface using 70% isopropyl alcohol or Avery Dennison surface cleaner. For vehicles where magnets cannot be used, place masking tape to make a temporary hinge. Release the liner to the masking tape, use an Avery Dennison snitty to safely cut the liner off, then squeegee the film from the masking tape to the top. Once this is applied, remove the masking tape, then apply the other side of the panel. Remove the liner entirely if the panel is small, and the free hand should hold the film off the surface in order to avoid bubbles or the adhesive tacking too soon. For larger applications of the VISIFLEX V8000, it's recommended to pre-seam the panels together. This should come with a precise layout that includes numbering the panels and clear indicators of where the colors go. Lay the graphics out on a clean table to help with organization and to ensure that each section lays flat. Also, double check that each numbered panel corresponds with the layout before application. For the front and back, a good tip is to build off the emblem in the center, and for the sides, if the vehicle has 2 doors, build from the break in the middle of the door, as doing this will help ensure correct placement. For precise workflow, place the layout next to the section where the Visiflex V8000 will be applied, and the first step is to lay out several panels to ensure that the initial key panel that will be applied is in the exact position. Using Avery Dennison magnets are a good choice, as this will help lock the panels in position quickly. If the key panel is off, this will make all the other panels not align, which can lower quality and install times. So taking time to make sure the alignment is precise is absolutely critical. Once the alignment is precise, it's time for the main install. Double up the magnets past the middle piece to ensure hold, then remove the liner. Hold the panel off the surface, then squeegee it in place using an Avery Dennison squeegee. Installing the middle panel first will help ensure that the other panels on the left and right will align precisely. Work one panel on a section at a time. The masking tape that holds the panels should keep the panels uniform and symmetrical. Be patient and steady during this process. This will help ensure alignment and precise placement. Once the final piece has been applied, then the masking tape can be removed from the panels. Be sure to remove the masking tape low and flat, and you can see that the panels are butt jointed. There should never be overlaps with V8000. This helps ensure long-term quality and hold. Repeat the same process for each section, and note that for raised objects like emblems, door handles, and antennas, the V8000 should be cut to fit around these areas before the install to ensure a safe fit. For longer, thinner panels, like the one at the bottom of this hatchback, a good tip is, when possible, leave the liner on as long as possible, as this can help with workflow during the install, and avoid putting the fingers on the adhesive side, which can transfer oil and affect adhesion. Once the film is installed, if there is numbers written on each panel, remove them with a mild degreaser. Be sure not to overspray the edges, as the adhesive needs time to set up properly. With the install complete, there are certain post-install steps to take to ensure long-term hold. Due to the single layer construction, there is no need to edge seal, unlike other brands of reflective film on the market. Standard cleaning can be done on the vehicle by the client, but power washing and steaming should be avoided. Making a detailed aftercare list of do's and don'ts for the client is highly recommended. The warranty is up to 7 years vertical for white and standard colors, and 3 years for the two fluorescents. Also note that removals should be done within warranty and, if needed, apply heat. V8000 is built to remove easily and with minimal adhesive residue left behind. For more information on V8000, you can go to this URL and search for V8000. This will provide you with several useful links for product bulletins and other additional information, as well as a contact page. As you can see, with the right application, the V8000 is the right solution for your safety and emergency vehicles for both the day and night. This has been a product video for Avery Dennison's VISIFLEX V8000 Prismatic Reflective Vinyl. Proudly produced by the Rap Institute.